Hey, how's it going? I just thought I'd share something with you. Many times I think to myself, maybe I'm not thinking big enough. Maybe I'm not achieving as much because I'm not actually putting into practice the idea of thinking big enough and then working towards those big things. Sometimes when we work towards the big things in life, we may not quite hit those things initially when we start, but we get a lot further by pursuing that path. So I just want to challenge you today. Think about something that you need to think big about. So it might be what you can achieve in life. It might be where you can travel to. It can be what kind of job you can get. It can be where you can study, where you can live. And then think, okay, once you have that big picture, then think to yourself, what is the next tiny step I can take towards that? What is the next tiny step? It may be a case of, okay, researching and seeing what cities can I actually move to? If you're in a place where your passport doesn't give you access to as many countries as you would like, okay, ask yourself, what are the countries that I can visit that my passport allows me to go to easily? And if it's a case where you're willing to be even more adventurous, you could say, okay, what would it take to get a visa to travel to a few other places? And then just look into the process. You're not making any commitment initially. You're just looking into the process and taking it step by step and figuring out what the next step is you need to do to get you towards that big dream. Again, just work with baby steps. Okay, have a big dream, but take baby steps. And you'd be surprised how much you can achieve when you do this. I was going on a walk with my cousin yesterday, and we got to a path where it looked quite steep, and it would be steep to get down, but we had some nice views just across that would be nice to go see. Initially, she thought, "Ooh, I'm not sure I can do this. My dress maybe might be too tight, or I might not just be able to get there. It looks quite deep." But then she thought to herself after we took a few steps in the opposite direction, she's like, "No, let's try it out." So she said, "Okay." She's going to take those few steps. But then after she took the first step, she realized, okay, it wasn't quite as bad as she thought. We then got down, we took step after step, and eventually we got down and we got to where we're going. And then realized, okay, it wasn't as bad as she had originally thought. It wasn't as daunting or as big a deal as she initially thought. But because she took the step to actually take those steps down the hill, we actually got to where we needed to go. So it's a sort of thing where in life you also have to ask yourself, what are the things that seem really big? Everything you can see around you was imagined by somebody and actually put into practice. So you got to ask yourself as well, what is it that I would like to achieve? And what is it, even no matter how radical, no matter how big it is, ask yourself, what is the big thing I want to achieve? And then the next thing is, what are the tiny steps I can take to get me closer towards that dream? I tell you, once you start thinking like that, you start realizing that your imagination takes you many steps further. And with each time you allow yourself to imagine, and with each time you take a step towards your dream or your imagination, the more you realize that things are achievable. And the bigger you can dream, the bigger the steps you can take. But then again, start with the big picture and then take baby steps and you get to your destination. All right, I hope this message just encouraged you. I just thought I'd share it just off the cuff. It's just something I've been thinking of and I thought I'd share with you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and like this video because then it means that it gets shared with other people. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.